more to be discussed, and thank you for your testimonies today.
Chair now recognizes Representative Issa.
Thank you. And I want to thank Mr. Lawler for trading places with me and allowing me to go a little early. You know, this has been interesting because I've been in and out of here, but I've kept it on the television if I've had to be out. We seem to have an agreement to disagree because I think we agree on the following. At least some of the programs that each of you have seen when you've gotten into it are wasteful, unnecessary, and or would be better reprogrammed to some other use. Can we all agree on that? So are we dealing more with a stylistic complaint here today that this administration has said, stop, go back to baseline, justify your programs, and we'll restart, versus, as Andrew did, you said 80 programs were stopped in a very short period of time, and that money was reprogrammed to better use. Many of the programs that were talked about here, and some of them did turn out to be State Department, so let's assume for a moment that we're really talking about state and USAID, and for that matter, maybe the XM Bank, maybe a lot of places that disperse our funds, have been used for purposes that the new administration rightfully objects to and has the power or the desire to reprogram. Can we all agree that that's the case? So now I'm going to ask a couple of questions. One, earlier there was this question that I objected to based on my 25 years of experience here, and it was, why did we need a special IG for Afghanistan, and why did we need a special IG for Iraq? And I'm going to answer that for you folks. And if any of you really disagree, since the answer came from there, as though we didn't need it, these were unique, high expense areas like Ukraine is today, in which it was very difficult to audit, and certainly difficult for one IG that does the whole State Department to do so. Can we all agree that that was the reason, the prompting of the special IGs? Okay.
I don't agree with you, but...
No, but that was the reason for prompting. You'd agree with that.
Yes.
So you disagreed that it made sense, even though those IGs found time and time again things and brought them to Congress so we could consider whether to change the programs. And I'm going to ask you, not rhetorically, but directly, because I believe we'll need special IGs from time to time in the future. Do you really believe that we would have gotten the same level of oversight if we'd simply had one IG sitting at the State Department rather than somebody who had a more direct mandate and less politically motivated, because those special IGs transcended administration after administration?
We had 3 audits from 3 different inspectors, GAO, the special IG, and then the regular AID, on the same program at the same country at the same time. That is nuts.
Okay, so your point for us in the future, so we can do our job better, is if we have 2 IGs with overlapping, try to deconflict them so you only get one request from one of them. I agree with that. But I'm going to ask you a follow-up question in the limited time I have left. During the entire 4 years, because the other day we had this big question about IGs, 19 of them being dismissed and they're going to be replaced. During your time in Bush 2, in W. Bush, you had an IG and you had a second IG. But you didn't have an IG for the State Department for the entire period of time that Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. So if we had not had a special IG that transcended that, Hillary Clinton would have had 4 years with no IG looking at what was going on in a very expensive, 2 expensive combat zones. Isn't that true?
You're correct, but we also didn't have an IG, I have to say this, for state during the Bush administration. And I'm not criticizing my own president, but the State Department does not like IGs.
During the last administration, I left Congress for 2 years to work for President Trump and was heading the Trade Development Agency. So I've been on your side of the fence advocating for the good work that an agency can do. But my question to all of you is, don't we need more oversight so we don't have each administration coming in and saying, halt, we need to look at this? And wouldn't it have been better if, before we got to this point, Congress had been more aware sooner of the need for the kinds of changes we're hearing about here today?
I have to agree 100% with you. You can get it report after report after report, but if you do not act on it, the report's worthless.
Okay. I want to thank all of you, and again, thank my colleague from New York, and yield back.
Thank you, Representative Issa. Chair now recognizes Representative Lawler.
Thank you, Chairman. How many of you use